That's good. A bit longer than the Resident Evil 3 remake.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, it's
live.
funny. I've heard people gripe about it, but I think they're just sour trolls.
Sour troll.
Yeah. Well, like they're sour that it wasn't just like a straight remake, just updated to like in the like so it's beautiful, but like they wanted it just to be par for par exactly what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my issues with it, but
I think everybody's gonna have some gripes, but
Is this the modern day one?
I'm what?
Isn't there like a Final Fantasy game where it's like set like in modern day? Or is it future?
No, that has never existed.
All right, I gotta look it up. I swear it does.
I
I think
mean,
Thomas is thinking of when they're driving around in the car.
Yes.
whatchamacallit? Yeah, that's 15, but that's still not modern day.
Not
But
modern
it's
day.
close. But it's close.
Is
It's
it
closer.
like future? Or is
Because
it...
the car you drive is like from like the 60s, 70s.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it flies
So-
around.
Right, but yeah, it's not exactly modern. Dude, Sean, did you see what just happened? Or what happened last night? Well,
Did
no,
you
like,
see?
well, did you hear this news that Tavares Jackson died in a car crash? Do you remember that quarterback? I think he was for the
Tavares
Vikings.
Jackson.
Yeah, he was a starting quarterback like some
So he
years
is dead.
ago.
Oh,
He was the Vikings quarterback before
I thought you're gonna be like, did you hear they're remaking Resident Evil 4 now?
oh my gosh.
That's not confirmed yet, though.
Yeah. I'm glad it's. I mean, I saw they teased like a 2022 release date, which is good that they're gonna spend like twice as long on that one as they did on RE3 remake. So that's a good sign. Provided that rumor holds water. Well, rest in peace though to him.
Yeah, I
Shame.
mean that's
He managed to die not of the coronavirus during this
right.
time. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the thing. You see someone die and you're immediately like, dude, Corona, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, not? Whoa.
At some point I feel like they're gonna start playing NBA games again without fans just so that they can have like televised thing, some sort of ending to the season, but maybe they won't. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, that's a rumor for sure.
Yeah. Well, Bucks by default win the 2019 to 2020 season with the best record in the league if that happens.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll call that a second NBA championship.
Yeah. Asterisk
Yeah.
champion.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'll take anything at this point. You know, that's fine.
I think the whole thing was contrived so the Bucks couldn't win.
Yeah, could be.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
against the
Yeah.
Bucks.
Athena made us a nice Easter feast yesterday.
Very nice.
Yeah. Ham, cheesy hash browns, green beans, cheddar bay
Thomas-
biscuits,
Thomas
cheesecakes,
ate French toast bagels.
and deviled eggs.
It was, leftover tacos.
Ooh, and tacos. Nice.
We had steaks.
Snap.
Is it just you and your folks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think Ben
You
would
didn't
come
exceed
around?
you didn't exceed the gathering limit then, so good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ben and Kelly could also join in. I don't think they'd be exceeding the gathering limit. So
Kelly doesn't leave her home.
no, under any circumstance. Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yep. I leave my house too often, honestly, but I just accept that risk anyway.
Me too. Like my Emily was talking to her sister, and they're very like her husband's super afraid. So like he hasn't let them leave the house even like for a drive. She's like, oh yeah, we haven't done that, and it's like you can do that and then just come back. You don't have to go
Yeah.
anywhere.
I'm still going to Pick and Save.
Yeah,
And I'm
but
buying like I'm like doing a grocery trip like less than $50. Like it's not
Yeah.
even like a big stock up run. It's just to
Yeah,
get things for like
me too.
a few dinners, you know.
Well, she was like,
Yeah.
the last time we went to the grocery store was April 2nd, and Emily's like, what?
Okay.
And she's like, and we put in a pick and save order, and they said it won't be available till like Thursday. And it's like, yeah, I'll just go to pick and save and get it
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, I haven't been to a grocery store since March.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're in a position where you can just get everything delivered and stuff, then that's good. But
they've got even an extra kid than we do, so they're a family of 5. Just not like that's hard to like stockpile enough for all that. Grubby little fingers, you know.
Sour trolls.
Sour troll.
All
That
right.
will be my next D&D esque character.
Yeah. So how's the stream setup looking there, Mang?
We've been live for 6 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, the last time I asked, we weren't, so I figured I should check again.
I'm pretty
before,
sure I said we're live 6
Okay.
He
minutes
said
ago.
it. He said it when I said the whole stupid. Did you hear what? Did you see
Yeah.
what happened?
Oh, Mert
was
had to
my-
grab my
my
attention.
fault.
So
Oh,
he
my
heard
God.
it and he's just like, let's keep going.
Well, this doubles as a podcast too, I guess.
Yeah.
Just sharing about our lives. So
Exactly.
okay. Well, as I was saying before we went live, in fleeing Necron parentheses S, as could be more of them. But anyway, in your initial encounter and fleeing, you ended up in 3 different locations. We have Roland, who successfully traversed that main chasm to get over to the other side to start the ascent on the way back. We have Mert, who managed to scrape himself pretty miraculously into a side tunnel that was as he was falling down the shaft. And then we have Magnus, who fell all the way to rock bottom, at least for that particular cavern. And I have your surroundings all set to go for each one of you, but I think it's unavoidable, at least for the start of the session, that we're going to have 3 little solo resolutions here, 3 little solo adventures. So anyone want to key off? So give the other 2 a chance to grab a beverage or use the bathroom if they need to, because it'll probably take a little bit. Yes, it is a split the party. Sorry. Otherwise, I'll just randomly assign and go with one.
Doesn't matter.
Adam can go first. I volunteer him.
Okay, perfect.
He has the not easiest, but at least like the
He does have the most straightforward one. Yes.
Yeah,
I think it is the
well
easiest,
traveled.
Mert.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. Roland, by successfully crossing the chasm, you have the benefit of retracing your steps all the way back to the surface, which is only a matter of time and distance, provided no pursuing Necrons either notice or overtake you. Your atmofilter will keep constant air contaminants from posing a danger. So, am I safe to say that you're just going to book it back up to the surface as quickly as you can muster?
Yep.
Okay. You do this for some time. As you may recall from last week, it took longer than an hour to descend at your kind of careful approach when you had Orin Tiemptis with you. But as you're sprinting up during your ascent, you do start to hear scattered movements behind you, intertwined with the occasional hissing rush of air from depths below. And you eventually cannot deny that there is a distinctive pattern of movement behind you, metallic lurching of pursuers or multiple pursuers growing inexorably louder. So just describe for me if you care to go into any further detail about if there's anything you want to do at this point in time, or just keep pushing yourself to get out of there.
I mean, if anything would take me like exceptionally long to traverse, I'd probably teleport instead.
Okay, so you're just going to try and outpace them, and if you see keen like opportunities to do so, use the teleport to gain a bit of an extra lead on them.
Yeah.
Do you want to set a cap on how many times you'd be willing to do this, or just kind of if it ever looks like basically, do you have a cap for the
I
number of times?
guess 3.
Okay. Well, I think what will help determine what Roland thinks is necessary for this will be one last exertion roll that I'm going to ask for him to see how well he does just on his own 2 feet running from these creatures.
All right.
Yep. Okay. To make it to the surface, without entering an encounter into the Necrons with that exertion check, I will ask for 1 teleport if you're willing to grant that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Oh my.
So we'll say no anomaly from that.
I would hope so.
Yeah, because right. And you can take a +1 further to whatever your next skill check is. You
Nice.
kind of have a very you have a moment of clarity and presence of mind after this, like you've momentarily become more in step with the warp itself after tapping into it. So, okay, great. We'll put the pause button on Roland's section right now. He made it to the surface in a very efficient and expedient manner without causing any further harm to himself. So well done. We roll a d2 here.
Who's 1? Who's 2?
You are 1. You are number 1, Mert.
Nice.
Okay, we'll go to
On the last play.
yeah. We're gonna go to Magnus next.
All right.
All right, Magnus. You took a nasty fall. I believe your HP is a little bit of a concern right now.
Yes.
Okay. So you fell all the way down to the bottom of the central shaft. And as you start coming to your senses from that, you notice that the ground itself here seems to have been softened by the churning heat which you can sense below. Indeed, the gentler terrain here is likely what saved you from a near certain death. There's just more yielding qualities to the rock here. However, the soles of your boots, as well as your elbows and other parts of your body that impacted the surface, are starting to grow hot. So you feel like there may be another jet of steamed or hot air coming up from below. So what would you like to do? It's pretty dark down here. Do you have any sort of sight or things to assist your vision?
I have a glow bug that I didn't use yet, so I think
Now
I
would be
will.
appropriate.
I will open it or whatever.
Okay,
Turn it on.
good. And as you do that, I'm going to ask for a notice. Now that you have some vision.
I'm a trained noticer,
That should be of help here.
but I have poor wisdom.
Okay, we'll see how much that hinders you. Wait, so you mean to say that so your wisdom is a -1 and you've got a trained of 0?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. You see a carved tunnel leading out of this this cave that you're at the bottom of.
I will go towards it.
What is your armor class?
18.
Oh, okay. You take a blast of heat from an unseen little like sliver in the soil beneath you as you're moving. So this is a direct shaft to a geothermal fissure.
What? When I'm
However,
walking towards?
yes. However, because of your high armor, you do not take any damage, but your armor itself now has been cracked and withered by the heat, and either will likely shatter if exposed to extreme stress, or will at the very least need some maintenance and repair work when you leave this place. But it did save you from taking
So-
damage.
Well, actually, I have a feat Ironhide, which gives me innate armor.
So
So that's what I have. So I'm not really wearing armor.
do you have a natural 18 with the Ironhide?
Well, I have 2 decks and 16 natural.
Wow. Okay. You're basically kind of like Hulk then right now, where most of your clothing is burned away, but you've got like the nice kind of trunks from the remnants of your pants. So
Okay.
you're gonna need some new clothes.
Right.
All right.
Lost my gun, lost my clothes.
Yeah,
Armor.
yeah, you've still got your backpack or whatever you've got for your other equipment, but
Yep.
yeah. All right. So this tunnel, you notice, runs along an upward slope, and you seem to be gaining elevation rapidly, and the air noticeably grows less stale. So these are all promising signs. Further ahead, in a wider section of the tunnel, as it continues expanding, you spot on your right a small domed structure of beveled glass, about 9 feet high and 8 across.
A beveled structure.
Yeah, so basically it's like an igloo made out of like kind of glass with steel frame
Okay.
support.
So that's like covering this opening.
It's in this tunnel. There's this little structure. You could pass by it completely if you didn't want to interact with it.
Do I see through it?
Looking inside, you can see that there is a door with a keypad visible to the right of the door, and inside there is a veritable arsenal of high-tech looking equipment.
So the keypad I would have access to the keypad.
Yes, you could go right up to it, see if you can interact with it if you wished.
I will.
Okay. This does not appear to be in Necron script, but perhaps is an old Imperium outpost or things of that, something of that nature, as you recognize the numerals and letters as the keypad boots up. You see that there is a passcode sequence to open the door. You receive this prompt upon interacting with it. You have a few options here. You can attempt to input the digits directly. You can attempt a program to hack the keypad. You could attempt to force your way in, since it looks like it's simply a structure made out of glass, or you could just continue moving on. But I'll let you ponder these options for a little bit and jump to Mert.
Okay.
Okay. Mert.
Yep.
All right. Good that you are here. Where do I have your section? Here we go. So as you recall, you managed to kind of careen yourself into a small secondary tunnel as you were falling down that main shaft. This tunnel seems to have been carved by more natural processes as opposed to the architecture you encountered earlier. What formed this tunnel could have been perhaps the repeated currents of geothermal energy across millennia, or even the burrowing claws of subterranean creatures. Nonetheless, the tunnel seems to bear upwards, possibly leading to the surface.
Then I would follow it, obviously, if it's
Okay. Yeah.
that's where I want to go.
Right. Yep. Continuing on, the tunnel unmistakably grows narrower, such that you will have to crawl to continue.
All right. I will squeeze.
Okay. While on your belly, you can perceive smaller connecting passageways and tunnels all around you, suggesting that there indeed must be perhaps some creatures or insects that make use of this tunnel. Whether they are still alive or long dead, you'd have no way of knowing. But you do know that in this position, it would be very difficult to defend yourself, even from small scuttling creatures.
I do have a knife. So I'm crawling, like army crawling, pretty
Yes.
much through here.
Yeah,
So I have the knife in one of my hands. Obviously, I don't have my gun. That's on my back.
sure.
But I have the knife at least for anything that would just try to,
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. Um, is it fair to say that you want to try and avoid any undue attention while crawling through here?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it
Yes.
as I've dealt with that in war. That like when we were trying to sneak flank a regiment or something like that,
Yeah.
the element of surprise and so on was something taught to us.
Okay.
I had forgotten about it when I grabbed that box, that chest, but I've recalled it now.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm going to ask for a sneak check then. And first of all, let me ask, do you have training in sneak?
I do. That's exactly
Okay.
what that was that's what I took for the level.
Great. Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of speed to improve your stealthiness, or do you want to keep going at a consistent fast rate?
No, I think keeping my attention, like keeping nothing knowing I'm here is more important than getting there faster.
Okay. So you will sacrifice a little speed when you're going through here.
Correct.
Okay. You can add an additional +1 to your sneak check.
All right, here we go. I needed it because that's a 4. I didn't add the 1.
Okay.
Could have been real bad.
Yeah.
Not very good, obviously, but
Well, you start trudging through, doing your best to be silent. Yet nonetheless, whether subtle vibrations or perhaps your very scent betrayed you, a swarm of chitinous dark insects begin descending on you from all directions of the small connected tunnels.
so like I hear them suddenly start buzzing.
Oh yeah, they clearly were not too far away, and they are more than hearing them. You see that they very rapidly are just kind of pouring out of these little tunnels.
I guess I would now flip the script because now that my sneakiness is
Yeah,
already is for naught, and I would try to speed like I would like when
get
they're
the
trying
hell
to
out
do
of
those
there.
yeah, like ninja warrior type of like they're just you're trying to get a record, like,
Yeah. Okay. Well, you push through, moving and keeping like your determination to just get yourself through this. You feel a wave of sharp pricks and bites throughout your body as you flail yourself out of the enclosed space into a more open area where the insects seem to hesitate in following you and begin returning it back to their burrows. From this kind of burst exposure, you take 1 damage, but you can't be incapacitated from this.
oh, okay, so it
But-
wouldn't be it's not
yes.
fate, it wouldn't be, I mean, I'm good
Right.
still, but
Yeah. If it reduced you to 0, you would magically be at 0 right now, but conscious and not dying. So, yep. Okay. However, you do see from your wounds that there is kind of a strange residue near the bite and pincer marks, suggesting to you that you might want to get yourself checked up after you get out of here, just to make sure there's no after effects or venom.
didn't catch something.
Right. But now that you're out of that narrow space, it's opened up greatly. And as you're, what about your light source now that you're out of that tunnel? Do you have a way of kind of seeing?
Yeah, I was the one that had the glow bug on his
Okay,
chest.
you've got your glow bug. Thank you. You've come up to what looks like a small abandoned mining camp. Perhaps unknown to the current excavation team, since there was no mention of it by Oren Tiemter or anyone else you encountered thus far. In the camp, you see a number of things: a drilling vehicle, a mining elevator, a few piles of ore samples, and 2 small prefabricated tent dwellings that appear long vacant, along with everything else here from the looks of it. Apart from the small tunnel that you crawled through, there seems to be no other way out of this cavern, save for retracing your steps down the infested tunnel or finding some way to get this elevator operational again that I mentioned. Or, of course, when all else fails, you could attempt a hard climb up the rock wall or the steel frame of the elevator shaft with whatever conventional climbing gear that you have.
So this thing, so the elevator looks like it once was operational, but is like
Yes,
it doesn't have like it's lacking a power source. Is that what it seemed?
Nothing's powered on right now, but the elevator car, fortunately, is down here where you are, so you could step onto it and examine it if you wanted to.
I will do that first, just to see if it's even capable of lifting me up in the first place.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask for a fix as you examine the panel and the bearings, mechanisms, everything associated with the elevator.
Okay, and fix stat wise, what is that? Probably wisdom or intelligence, one of those.
It's intelligence.
Okay, I don't get anything for it. I just wanted to know.
Okay.
A 6 because I have a -1. So I rolled a 7, but
Yeah, total of 6. Okay.
yep.
It seems like you were able to make some simple repairs, reattaching power cufflinks, blowing some dust out of a few little spots, and there's a little bit of a groaning sound, but eventually you get a steady hum as the lights of the control panel light up, and you hear basically the elevator motor rumble and start running. So looks like you managed to get it back up and running.
All right.
Heresy.
Well then. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no prayers or anything offered. Just crazy.
He did mention something, but I know more about gun, like the gun thing. I don't know if I'd know about old mine shit like elevator shaft. I don't know how attuned to all of that I would.
Okay.
Right.
Also, I just got
Exactly.
bit by a bunch of things, so I am not thinking as clearly as.
Well, it appears that you could take up the elevator if you wished, but I'd be leaving behind the camp and the nightmare, and hopefully it will take you up to the surface. But is there anything else you wanted to do here?
I mean, you said the tents had long got like. Would I've had a chance to look inside of them? I guess.
Well, it all depends on how much time you want to spend here, but you haven't investigated them yet, if that's true.
I would at least. I mean, I'd have my gun, even though it seems like they've been like vacated.
Yeah.
But I'll have my gun and I'll kind of peruse. Maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe it's some warning of the Necrons that someone missed out on. They discovered something and never made it back. So I will.
Maybe there'll be a few Necrons inside the tent, but
yep.
You're resolved.
Just waiting.
You're resolved to take a look inside. Very good.
Yeah.
So I'll quick jump back to Magnus here. You've had a little bit of time to think about what you might want to do here, Magnus. So what are your thoughts?
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
So, well,
you can input the next 2 digits. Yes. Okay. Oh, somebody just got the hell out of here the moment you. Oh, Mert, he couldn't take what you did. All right, welcome back, Mert.
I thought that was like the console. Like it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. The keypad, all the paneling illuminates a nice like light blue color for a moment, and the pressurized door opens, allowing you entry into this hut.
Nice.
Okay.
I gaze upon.
Yeah, there. Like I said, there's kind of there's a cache of some nice tech in here, and in particular, you've stumbled upon an arsenal of cyberware. Inside of this hut are modules for installing the following cyberware. So get your keyboard or your pen ready. You can take all of this with you. It's all quite portable. It's basically in these very small steel containers. No larger than the size of a Nintendo Switch game case for the most part. So, an immunofiltration system. These are all in the book, by the way, so you can look these up. Dermal armor schematic, bioadaptation augments, and Tager nanites.
Okay, so it appears like it's instructions, or it has like parts and everything.
So 3 of them could be immediately installed. You just take them out of the case and bring them to a technician with the skill. But the dermal armor is a schematic. It is not there's not like a basically what's needed to implant and cover your body with it, but it would be helpful. Yeah. Okay. There's also a data pad that has long died out. It will need to be recharged. Whether or not you choose to take it with you is your prerogative.
So is that like a compad type
Yeah.
thing? Or is that used for hacking?
No, it's like a very simplistic like tablet computer.
I will take it just in case.
Data
Alright.
slate? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. A dead battery data slate.
I will thank the Omnissiah.
Nice. And like I said, this was basically just a little stop off from where you were, so you can just continue moving up the tunnels from here. But good job in getting in nice and silently.
Yes, I'll continue
Okay,
to flee.
Mert, you head into the threshold of the dwellings, and apart from long rotted through cots, some furniture, chairs, there are well, how long are you willing to spend kind of looking through here? Let's just put it that way.
Truthfully, because of the bites and the terror of the Necrons, not
Yeah.
that long.
Okay, so just a few minutes.
It's just more just to see if for some reason, even if it was like an honor thing, like dead bodies were here, and maybe someone, bring
Yeah.
it back up to the surface to, let someone know that they're so and so, or let the Imperium know these people were, anything like that. If I found, but yeah, I need to get back. I mean, clearly we know we need to get out of here. So
Okay. In the first dwelling, it appears to. I kind of gave you the description of what you found in there. However, underneath one of the rotted cots, so you can just actually see right where it is because there's nothing really above it anymore. There's just a steel case, like a little bit larger than a suitcase.
okay, I'll try to open it. It was closed, you said.
Yeah. Okay, you can open it. Inside, you see encased in like another sort of container, but set in like a more soft felt material. There is. Oh, I'm in the wrong section here. There is a bar of glowing metal. You feel like a heat source coming right off of it.
If I touch it, does it like burn me?
Well, it's inside another container inside of the case, so you're
But
still
I
not
can,
making
but I can
direct.
see it. But I can see
Yes,
it.
yes.
I will grab. So if I grab the container, I seem okay.
Apart from just the warmth that radiates off it, yes.
I will grab it and take it with.
Okay. It weighs about 40 pounds. It's very dense.
Okay. It's
Yep.
good. It's good. I'm not trying to climb the wall with it.
Right. Okay. In the other tent, you see near the entrance there were some scattered like steel chairs and some of the things that I mentioned you saw in the other tent, but kind of stacked and organized in a manner that suggested like they were trying to keep the entrance to this little dwelling somewhat barred off or fortified. Um, you see within the tent itself, there are 4 skeletons, 3 of which look relatively normal, one significantly larger. And near the larger skeleton, in addition to very tattered, rotted away clothing, you see there is a gun of some kind.
Now, these are not the skeletons I just witnessed. These are like
No,
humanoid.
yes. You recognize the physiology of them.
All right, I will I will like pick the gun up and take a look at it.
Okay. It is a rifle. What is your intelligence?
Is that a Mert question or is that?
It's well,
A...
it is a bird question.
It is a 12.
Okay, is that a 0 or a +1?
That's a 0. 14
Okay.
is a +1.
All right. It looks to you like possibly some sort of prototype bolt rifle, but on a scaled down size. So really a nice piece of ordnance if it were to work.
I'll take it along.
Okay. You can add prototype bolt rifle to your inventory.
Was there like ammo in it or around it?
You see that the clip is still inside the gun.
Okay.
And
I would
with
say
that,
I'd say that I head up.
okay.
That is about as much time as I wanted to give.
Yeah. Okay. I just have to do a D100 roll. There's a very small chance that there'll be a critical failure on the elevator. Nope. Okay.
Okay.
It's going to take you all the way up to the surface. As you come out, you see once again the considerably blinding light of day, but you're able to adjust to it after a little while. And you see from this position, you actually have a slightly distant but clearly visible perspective of the excavation camp where you guys drove up the rover to. So you
Alright.
could make your way down from here with little difficulty enough to get over to that position.
I will definitely be doing that.
Very good. As for the other two, you also both make it to the surface, and I'll start actually. I'm going to go back to Roland for now. At least when last you checked, you had bought yourself enough distance from any pursuit that there was no line of sight on any Necrons when you rounded your last bend. So you are now back at the excavation site. There are a few excavation personnel on hand here. Of course, Oron was left behind, and who knows what happened to him. You have no knowledge exactly of what has happened to your other party members, but you do see, again, the site, the rover, and these other just hapless excavation workers just tuning and working on various things.
Okay. I'll be running for the rover, and I'll shout, "This is a tomb world! Flee!"
Okay. If they attempt to jump onto the rover, like immediately after you said that, would you do anything to try and prevent that?
Why would I do that?
No, it looks like it can easily accommodate all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them being us.
No.
You're dead, as far as I know. You fell into a giant chasm.
Did I hear correctly that me and Mert made it to surface?
Yeah,
No.
but
Okay.
Roland is here significantly earlier than either one of you.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I'm not resolving this that way. You could try your frequency radio if you wanted to.
I was just wondering the question that you asked stopped them from getting on. I was wondering who was them.
So Oren went down with you guys into the tunnels, but he had his own little kind of personnel staff here. There's like 4 of them that were just kind of here to tend to the surface. So yeah. Okay, and back to the main site then for you, May.
Back to my ship.
Back to your ship. Excellent. Okay. You make the 40-mile drive. And I will come back to you in just a moment. Magnus, you are once again seeing the open sky above and the relatively desolate geography of the planet Clome. But it's a good feeling to breathe the fresh air again. You are aware that dust and other kind of sediment is probably lining the inside of your nostrils, mouth, and lungs right now, and it'll be good to kind of get refreshed. But it's a good step to at least get out of those caves. But you do not recognize your surroundings apart from that. You don't see where you had first entered in or the excavation site.
Okay. Let me see if I have any technology at my disposal.
Right.
My compad. I will try using it.
Okay.
And try to contact Roland.
Okay. Takes a moment to reestablish a signal. Either the caverns themselves or all of the geothermal fissures and energy in there, like kind of screwed with it. But eventually you do get a signal back. And Roland, as you're pulling in to the area near your landing site, you see you're receiving a communique from Magnus.
New phone, who dis?
It's Magnus.
Magnus!
I live by the...
That's incredible.
Indeed, I was surprised myself. But I've made it to surface. I don't know where I am, though.
I will
It's
return
now
for you shortly.
All right. Do you have my coordinates? Or can I send them to you?
I think you can broadcast them with that tech.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's quite sensibly, he's not too far away from the excavation site. He just is a little bit, probably from your position, he's about 36 miles.
I don't see Mert, though.
He must be lost.
No, Mert is...
Forget him!
Yeah.
Forget. Okay, I'll try calling him next.
All right. So, Roland, do I understand the plan is you immediately board the ship, alert Octavius of what's going on, and then go into low atmospheric flight to go pick up Magnus?
That would be good.
Okay. The moment you inform Octavius of the situation, he concurs that the best course of action will be an immediate departure. But of course, we should recover Magnus. It's remarkable that you survived that encounter, and yes, we owe it to him to try and get him off this rock too.
And does he have an astropath?
Yeah, let's add an astropath to the ship. So an astropath would not also be able to perform the functions of the navigator. This would be an additional...
That would be
role.
too separate. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've got Phil the Navigator. And we've got Golk the Astropath.
Great.
I see like they wear like kind of nice robes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty prized members of the Imperium
Yeah.
because they serve a very important role.
Yeah. Well, he that'll add an interesting dynamic to
Well,
proceeding from here.
I'll need to speak to Golk.
Yes. Do you want to speak to him right now?
Might as well.
Okay. Roland.
Golk, we need to
Yes.
send a message to Inquisitor Ovum immediately.
Golk sighs. You see him kind of gently kind of stroke back his hair across his temple. And when he opens his eyes again, he regards you with a new focus and he says, very well. What would you like to broadcast?
Inform him that this planet is an active Necron tomb world.
Oh, we'll need to mobilize a fleet of some kind.
As quickly as possible.
I can do this. Is there anything else you wish for me to relate?
No. Make it hasty.
Yes, that should be message enough. And I don't know if there'd be anything, this would be an opportunity if you knew, like, when he does kind of go into his astral telepathy mode, if like there'd be any sort of visible things going on, or if he just kind of looked like in like a little trance as
Yeah,
he's
that's more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can assume as Golk kind of makes himself comfortable in a special little like chair that he has near the cockpit that he's busy about sending this message. So
Yeah. It takes a while for messages to be received across big distances.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's cool.
yeah.
All right. You've got Magnus's coordinates. Octavius, before punching the launch button, he asks, "Should we try and get word out to the other people here? I mean, I suppose some of them already know."
Yes, I suppose we should broadcast a message on the comm server.
Okay. He sets that up. Just takes a couple of minutes. You'll be able to be at Magnus's location very swiftly. So probably did some service for those here among the Adeptus and other branches of the Imperium to have a chance to get off world before the presence of Necrons exponentially increases too much on the surface. Mert, the elevator does. Oh yeah, you already had your coming out of the.
Yeah,
tunnel.
I
Okay.
was hoofing it to the site
Yeah,
where we were.
you see that the rover is gone, along with any of the other excavation staff who were here. But I believe you do have a comm as well. All right.
I get on it.
Yeah. And we can just kind of establish that very quickly. You determine that you're only about 2 miles away from Magnus's location.
All right, and I'm in a pretty like visible site.
Yeah, once you
Like-
make it to the surface of Clome, there's a lot of open sight lines for the most part. So knowing where he is, you can pretty much make your bearing towards him.
Sounds good. That's what I'll try to do.
All
Is
right.
I'll get to him.
Yeah. And by the time that the ship can pick you guys up, you are reunited.
Reunited. Sean, I will once I get on ship, I will use my bioscanner.
Okay.
It allows with a heal 0 skill, which I have a 1. Operators can use the bioscanner for a full spectrum of diagnosis and DNA sequencing achievable. So I want to look over with those bytes. Like I try to kind of myself.
Okay. You notice immediately there is a toxin within your body that will pose a significant threat if untreated.
All right, I use the one Bezwar. It's a heal
Yeah.
one. It's an antibiotic cocktail.
Indeed.
Infectious diseases. So I do have to roll a 1. Or I do have to roll a
Yes.
1d6, not a 1. A 1.
Okay. Let's see what you got. What do you got for me?
All right, I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So it
The-
says the affliction is cured within 24 hours, depending on how serious
Yeah.
it is.
And you treated it within just a couple of hours of contracting it. So the Bezor just handles the infection. You'll be fine.
Good. It's good I took one of those. I took it at the last minute.
Yeah. Okay. With that, all of the crew is aboard the ship, and you have a clear ride off planet. You're not under artillery or anti-air fire from emerging Necron vehicles yet, or anything of that nature. No monoliths, nothing like that yet. So it's a clean getaway.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. And when you guys hit the upper atmosphere, you all gain another 4 XP.
Ooh.
So you can now do your level up to 3. And I am going to share the sector map with you guys now. I think this will work in Roll20. If you guys just tell me if when you click that, if you guys are able to see it.
Oh yeah, very
Okay,
nice.
yeah. So I'll direct your attention. You guys were in the upper left-hand corner in the Theus system.
Mm-hmm.
So you were on Clome, and you had come previously from the Foz system, which is the one just to the bottom left of that spot. So this is kind of like an isolated patch of the sector, which, given your findings, might be of a relief, at least to our, in light of recent discoveries of what you found on these worlds. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and level up, and then we'll discuss what your crew's plans are for going forward.
Okay.
Is it just always 3 points per level?
Well, with advancement, let's see. You're going to gain HP. You're going to gain attack bonus. You're going to improve your saving throws, although at 3, it doesn't change too much, I think, because of the half rule.
Saving throws always go down by 1.
Oh, yeah, they always go down by 1. I meant the attack bonus roll. Yeah.
Does it do that automatically? The attack bonus stuff?
I don't know what you guys use for your character sheets, so I can't answer that.
I'm in roll 20.
Oh.
Nice.
I don't know. Okay, I'll roll for.
One of us has to have internet options every time, right?
Internet options.
Internet options.
Problems, issues.
Oh.
Hopefully it's not me.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I reset a bunch of stuff after last week, and it seemed to have helped. I actually changed my Wi-Fi password.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Is there a section in the PDF for leveling up?
Yeah. Near 56. 56 on the physical pages, not the PDF. It's slightly different.
So, Thomas, you got a +9? Now I've already forgotten how all our HP things work.
Warrior gets +2 per level, and then +1 Constitution
That's right.
per
That's
level.
right. Oof, I rolled bad. Yikes.
Warrior
Do you
gets
have a +2 for your Constitution modifier, Thomas, or just one? Oh no, just one. Yeah, I see that comes. Yeah.
actually okay. Warrior gets +1 to attack bonus per level.
I
So
think
that's
when
not
you
good.
put it in, if you go into that sheet and you just it does it for you. Like I don't, I get it because of partial warrior. I only get it every 1 and 5, but you get it every level, so it should automatically because it knows you're a warrior. Oh, weird.
It hasn't been though. I've been at 1 attack bonus this whole time.
Oh, well then yeah, it's good to know because I know mine. It only does it when I think it's 1 and 5 and 10 or something like that. I get or 1 and 4.
Wow. So
Hey, Mang, can you give me your best estimate as to when you think Golk would have not only sent his message but also received one back?
It
From-
depends on how far away we are from him. Ovum.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
What would be?
I mean, is he in this sector?
I'd like to think he's in an adjacent sector,
Yeah, it could be.
but not in this one.
Could be days.
Okay.
So I'd probably also tell him to find an astropath for the closest fleet and tell them as well.
Yeah. Okay.
actually, flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Before we left the planet, was I supposed to talk to someone as like a damn it, I don't remember who. Someone's
Well,
gonna reward me.
right. Well, the problem with that though is you would have had to have persuaded your crew to double back to the main base camp.
Oh, we never went there.
Nope. Once Roland and the ship were there, they took you off world. So I don't think I'm inclined to grant that flashback right now. But you do have that cache of cyberware that you picked up.
You just need to find a street doctor to inject me.
Yeah. It's a big sector. How's everybody's leveling going?
Done.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. And then we've got a Mertuza somewhere out there. Do they have crokinole on TTS?
That would be something.
Yeah, probably controls a little bit differently than playing the physical version.
Yeah. All right, I can now teleport up to 10 kilometers.
Man, that is some cheesing if you want to assassinate somebody or something, just
Mhm.
easy. Yeah. Or
Nice.
or extract, steal, whatever. It's
Yeah.
all good. Yeah.
As long as I
nice.
have line of sight.
Right. Which that could be a little camera set up somewhere,
Maybe.
I think. Yeah. If you just got a little like camera inside the ship, you could experiment with that.
That's true.
That gives Golk something to do when he's not doing astral telepathy.
Oh, I can also teleport to a location that I have occupied before.
Mm.
That's pretty
So
good.
as you travel across the galaxy, your options are ever
I
growing.
mean, yeah, 10 kilometers is not.
Oh, that's true. That rule always applies.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Mert must have said he was stepping away momentarily.
Dealing with them sour trolls.
Sour Patch Kids.
That's what he's got.
Yep. The coronavirus was not enough to get me back to WoW Classic. I think that might be over with for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's always the RE4 remake right around the bend, so it's
Yeah, right around the bend.
yeah. Well, they're just cranking them out now because there was the RE8 announcement, and yeah,
Wasn't Gyro excited about the Final Fantasy VII remake?
yeah, but she's really got to finish her program before she leaps into that. So there's we're holding off for a bit. What is somebody just typed in roll 20? Oh, Mert's
Oh,
back.
it was just me.
Yeah.
Did
Mert,
they do all their leveling?
yeah, so take a quick look at your stuff, see what you might want to spend that on.
Well, as I said, it's just the heal. It was just HP and the skill points that we get, right?
Right. Just the skill points, and then, remember you can spend points on attribute increases too.
Yeah. I
you
debate
don't- yeah.
on that, especially because it ramps up each time.
Indeed.
It's good that it reads here. Cost to raise it by.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as it stands, Octavius is going to opt to get a comfortable distance away from Clone. But as far as your next destination in the system, that will be formulated by your own decisions here. Octavius can kind of check Gulk's telepathic network to see if there's any jobs or opportunities, or if there's a certain if you kind of prioritize looking at some of the nearby planets if you want a little bit more information when you're looking at the overviews, I can help kind of flesh that out for, where you might want to venture to next. Like if you see like, low tech planet, like I could help expound, like if you think there might be orcs there or something like that. But yeah, it's an open sector right now since there's no immediate thing, unless in the interim time while we're waiting back to hear from Ovum in the nearest fleet about what to do, Octavius might find something.
Well, I noticed in the Foz system,
Yes,
there's an orbital ruin.
of the, let's see. Under what, like,
Under
drop down?
Frandom.
Oh yeah, Greeley 8.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Yes.
go back there?
Well, it's in orbit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
it's
yeah.
not a bad idea.
So is that like a salvage mission, kind of?
Yeah,
Could be.
I mean, we've been there, so it's easy to get back there.
It's close.
And yeah, we're one sector away from it.
yep. The research station might be able to do cyberware implants as well, should you desire to get implanted. I know our Adeptus on the path might really enjoy getting that set up.
Yeah, let's get some work done. I can
Did
share my
he
schematics.
figure out a replacement gun for himself at all?
No, yeah, I'm gonna need a gun too.
Yeah. Mert, you've got your sweet new gun too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I might give it to him to see what he thinks. He's more gun like aware and connected. So maybe that's what we're on here. And I saw his gun blow up, right? Yeah, because it was that door.
You've
It
all
was, it was at your
witnessed.
request, I believe.
Well, I'll walk over to him and say, on my way up, I found a camp, deserted,
Mhm.
but I found this bolt rifle that seems interesting. I mean, so T level, what would you say it is, Sean? Like
This
3,
is
4?
no, this is cutting edge TL4 tech
Oh,
right here.
okay. So I will, yeah. I tell him that from what I can tell, but you probably have a better eye. And I, kind of regrettably told you to shoot and it destroyed your gun, so I feel like I owe this to you.
Oh, very nice. I examine it.
Okay. Yeah, this has essentially the properties of a mag rifle. So it's got great damage. As I mentioned, it's a prototype since they tend to run larger. So ammunition might need to be specially designed for it. But I mean, with those limitations in mind, it's still going to be excellent weapon option. If you look up the stats of mag rifle, they do a lot of damage.
Okay.
And you had a mag pistol before, right? Or did you have a rifle?
No, I had a mag rifle.
Oh, there you go.
Really? Did you had? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
I don't think it's far fetched that he had a mag rifle.
Yeah.
No, he did. That's
No,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I thought he did have. But
Oh yeah. No, this is more equivalent to like a spike thrower. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look that up.
It's very short range.
But without the range limitation. So it's a spike thrower that has the range of, let's say, the mag pistol. We won't give it the full mag rifle range, but you get a bump up from the normal spike
that's
thrower.
still pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a bolter?
Yeah, like a scaled down version. Looks like it could be like a prototype.
Well, they make scaled down bolters.
Okay, yeah, it's a scaled down bolter then. Good way of viewing it.
Like OG bolter. Well, hopefully Magnus, you can get good use out of that.
Yes. Very good gun.
I will go to Roland
Okay.
next. I mean, I could go to Octavius, but I feel like I'm not sure which one would be. Octavius may more see a profit or value, whereas I want to go to Roland more first on the heresy side of things.
Okay.
And I show him the thing I found in the case.
All right.
So I kind of go, Roland, at this camp, I found this gun. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be okay, but I found this and it was very interesting. I don't know if it'll be useful to the Imperium or blasphemy, so I grabbed it. Obviously, I wasn't thinking too clearly at the time, but who knows what's going to happen to that planet now. But I describe the warmth. Obviously, you can tell. Like I kind of showed you, you can feel it. I didn't take it out because I didn't know what would happen. So it's still in its case. And I don't know if it's smart for us to do that on the ship, but I don't know if what we should do.
Yep. So you've got essentially a bar of very dense, either irradiated metal, which was preserved in this container, or either it has incredible like heat energy retention, like it just over time it just absorbed a lot of heat or something. It just hasn't even irradiated all that off yet. So seems to have interesting properties regardless of what the situation is with it.
Likely a creation of the Necrons.
Ooh.
That's what I was worried about. That's why I said I don't want to go too,
Deep hard.
I think at best we toss it out the airlock.
Okay, if that's what you want to do. I left it to you.
And Octavius, you see, he kind of, I don't even know if you consulted him in this, but either way, he doesn't object. So you can send it out into space.
There you have it.
Okay, you see it silently and forlornly drifting through the great void.
All right.
We need not such xenotechnology to advance the Emperor's will.
Okay.
I had a feeling.
Yep. Magnus, do you want to request a? You've got your gun situation panned out for now. By the way, you see that your clip size seems to be 40 rounds in that scaled bolt thrower. So it's got a nice ammo supply for now, but you have no additional ammunition should you need some. So you've got your gun situation temporarily straightened out. But did you want to try and get your surgery done before going to the ruin?
Yeah. Did you say
Okay.
it was 60 rounds for the
40.
gun? 40.
Yep.
That's big.
All right, 80 rounds.
40.
Okay, 40 rounds.
80 rounds, 40,
Yeah,
80
yeah.
rounds.
80, 40.
And do I only have the ammo that's in the gun?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
However, a single shot does that amount of the 3d8. So
Yep. Okay.
yeah.
It should last me until I die.
I mean, they are 75 caliber bullets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. If it's like a spike thrower, it can also be bursted.
It can be.
Okay. Yeah, I'll request to our captain if there's a surgery planet nearby.
Well, at the
Surgery
research
plan.
at the research station, you can get treatment. And you visited there before when you dropped off the liquid sample from the planet.
Okay.
So, and since it's more or less directly on the way here, it's not too. I don't think anyone will object if you want to get your surgery done.
Okay. Am I the only one getting work done?
It depends if you want to share what you found with your friends or not.
I would.
Okay,
I'll
I mean,
say, look
I'm
at
saying
what,
like they're still single use, but okay,
Yeah,
I see.
okay.
You're informing them. I see.
yeah, I'll inform them like, oh,
Yeah.
I found these schematics in the cave. The Omnissiah has truly looked upon us with favor.
I will pass.
We've got a dermal armor schematic. Immunofiltration, never get sick again. Bioadaptation augment.
And tagging nanites.
I think I was probably gonna go for the tagger myself. Now, is there a limit? Could I go multiple?
Oh yeah, it so there's something called strain, which
permanent and system.
yeah. So the more cyberware you put on, there's a strain score on what it basically the toll it takes to your body. But given your worldview, I don't think you'd be too concerned about that.
Okay. Now, as I'm going through these, I actually noticed the data slate, and I'll say, I wonder what's on here. Is there a battery that I can charge it with?
Oh yeah, now that you're aboard the ship, you can basically plug it in.
Okay. I'll do that. I don't know if I let it charge for a while. Then am I able to turn it on?
Yes. And there's not a whole lot on this data slate. It looks like the owner was kind of fastidious about keeping it clear from too much superfluous data. But the main file on this slate is the research journal of an Imperium explorer, I guess you could say, or let's here's his name, and it looks like it's dated about 900 years ago, and it's a log of his day-to-day observations on the planet. And the most recent log, again, he's observing a lot of the things that you noted about the potential for high natural energy to be harvested here, and the great promise as a potential forge world. His most recent entry discusses the examination of a strange control panel. With he has a sketch in the data pad that looks similar to what you guys interacted with right before you woke up some of the Necrons. So that's the last log in his journal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a historic peculiarity, but it didn't provide you any earth-shattering new information.
Okay.
Okay. So what would you like implanted into your body then at the station?
I don't know if this is also going to cost money or if I have like the.
This still will cost money, but the great majority of the cost is addressed because you do have the tech itself, with the exception of the dermal armor. You have the schematic for that, but you have everything else for the other implants.
I guess the top one I wanted to do was the Tagger nanites,
Okay.
and if I can afford it,
Yep.
I also want to do the bioadaptation augment.
No problem. So let's take a look. Tagger nanites. Okay, and the bioadaptation.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a total of 2 strain so far. Strain doesn't become really an issue until it meets your constitution score.
And is it also true that it cannot be removed? I think I was reading that. Then so it's just like
Let me check. I'm not sure about that.
each piece of software comes with system strain permanently adding that many points of system strain to the user's total.
Yep. So once
These can
you
never
get
be
the
removed.
once you get the procedure done, it's more or less irreversible. I mean, I always like to find exceptions even within systems like this, but yeah, it will be rare and difficult to ever do anything like that.
Okay.
But so far, you've got the nanites, you've got the bioadaptation. Anything else?
I think that's all. That's all for now.
All right. The going installation rate for an Imperium sanctioned person such as yourself, as well as your standing in the system. Let me just run the numbers here. 10,000, 15,000. All right. To do the procedure, you'll be out of commission for about 30 hours, and it'll cost you about 1,000 credits.
Done.
Okay. Well, you get put under the knife, and does the rest of the crew just fine waiting until he's good to go, or does the orbital ruin take precedence?
I think we'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think your party would work best with everyone being there. So,
Does this under
Yeah.
the knife time also count as resting for HP recovery?
um,
Or how many days has it been since the cave?
it took you about 2 days to reach here from that planet, so you can take 2 days of rest from
That's
that.
it's 2 HP per day, right?
3 now, right?
It's
per
I think it's
level.
your level,
Okay.
yeah. So that's a pretty big
It's your
buff.
level. It's a big
Yeah.
bump.
All right.
All right, and then I'm gonna say half your healing rate while you're under the knife. So
Round it up or down?
I'll round it up for you.
Okay.
So you've recovered 8 since that planet. So pretty good.
Yep.
You come out of the surgery room feeling like a new man, but still yourself, but certainly changed at the same time. It's a good feeling though. You feel that you are bettering yourself in the way that the Omnissiah intended. So you now have the functional benefits of these implants. So
Nice.
these Tagger nanites, basically, I mean, you've got all the little entries in there.
Yeah.
So have you taken a look at what they do?
Yeah. So I can. What do I have to do to generate it? But it's like I emit dust, I believe, and if it gets on someone, they can be tracked for 48 hours, basically.
Yep. And each time you use it, you add 1 system
Yeah.
strain. So you don't want to use it willy-nilly all the time, you'd rapidly accumulate strain. But yeah, you have like a neural connection to your nanites. You see right in your consciousness kind of what they're seeing in the tracker. So
And so, yeah, objects I touch, so I have to touch them.
yeah, for
But they
laying
can
the
connect.
for laying down the dust. So you could like touch a chair and then somebody sits in that chair and then good job, you've got the nanites on them. And fun flavor thing is that only counter nanites can remove them once they've been put on.
Okay.
They're so small. I think most of the
So
Imperium would see this as a miraculous kind of force, not so much a mechanical one. But that's all interwoven within the Mechanicus.
And actually, the 48 hours.
Is
Does that
that
mean
the
it can only
cooldown?
be? It says objects user touches can be tagged by these nanites, which generate of their kind for up to 48 hours after tagging. The dust then lays down a trail behind the tagged object. Does that mean they can only be tracked for 48 hours? Or like, for example, I touch the chair for 48 hours, everyone who sits will get them on.
Yeah,
But after that, they won't.
I think 48 hours is the window after you've ejected the nanites for something to stick onto it to them.
But then once it's stuck,
Then I'd be more generous. Obviously, I wouldn't say like infinity, but it would be a longer period of time that you could track them for.
okay. Yep, and then the bioadaptation augments. I can survive thin atmospheric conditions and tolerate temperatures ranging from Antarctic chill to heat sufficient to boil water.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't think that means boiling water. So that just means heat, I guess, like a dry heat.
Yeah, I mean, you can always experiment, but you are generally just quite much hardier now in a number of different environments. So
It says I can eat anything to
yes,
survive.
your metabolism can tolerate
Yeah.
what would be intolerable for others. So
It's a
give away my
standard
ration.
feature for Space Marines.
yeah, it's kind of like a minor Space Marine package.
They can eat just like metal if they want, and then spit acid.
All right. I think that concludes your time at the research station. Again, they don't really have like a proper armory, but they do have some tools and weapons available for sale if you do want to acquire more things. With that being said, I think we will move back into the ship for some exploration of the orbital ruin out of Frandom. Gulk, the moment like right before you guys are about to kind of make your final approach to the orbital ruin, Gulk relays. Do you want the message to be relayed to you privately, Roland, or do you think that would be probably unnecessary given the closeness of your team? Because I know
Are we that close?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then I'll leave it up to you. If you like what Gulk has to say relayed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. First.
Just,
Okay.
Just let me know.
All right. I'll send you a message. Booting up signal. I haven't booted up Signal on my PC in a little while. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll tell the others that the tomb world will be taken care of.
Its days are numbered.
Yes.
Eh,
All right.
that's good. That's good to hear. Seeing one of those Necrons was quite overwhelming.
Yeah, they're dangerous. But you guys have survived thus far and continue to grow in strength. And you do find an old installation in the orbit of Frandom. At one point, possibly a space station or some other kind of standard TL4 structure that, well, clearly is not used by the current population who has fallen into the darkness of lower tech, and in general seems to be a rather unvisited corner of this area, but as you know, may boast some good findings if searched for carefully. Octavius finds a suitable docking point to the ruin. Its design, of course, is clearly Terran in nature, though you likely have no assurances that there will be a stable pressurization inside of the station, so you might have to be ready to experience the vacuum of space at a moment's notice, but hopefully it won't be too hairy. Best of luck. Emperor's grace be with you, and hopefully there's something still of worth in there. Golk, Phil, and I will, of course, be keeping the ship primed and ready for your return.
Just nod.
Well, the door of the ship opens and allows you to head into the station. Is there a drawing tool in? Yeah, there is. I haven't had to use it in a while in Roll20. Let me play around with this for a moment. So you guys can all see that random box I just drew.
I see a
Right.
box.
Okay.
It's hard to see, but I see it.
Yeah, oh, okay. That
There you
box
go.
is okay. And
I
let
see a
me
white box.
Yeah, no, it's been a very long time, so you'll just have to bear with me for a
You want
moment
me
here.
to delete the old box?
Delete everything.
I don't know if I
Alright.
want to do that.
Okay. Delete the new box too.
Okay.
All right. I might zoom in more to make use of the grid so that I'm more efficient here. Let's have everybody go to like the upper right-hand corner, and let's use Zoom. Let me just take a quick look here. We'll use Zoom like 150. That'll be about the one that I'm using. So somewhere in that
Got it.
ballpark. Okay. So
So right by where the little sun is up there.
yeah, so you'll start to see me drawing over there. So here's your ship. There's a little connecting port to the station, and I will differentiate things that belong to the station with a slightly different color now. Okay, this is a pressurized door that will grant you access to the ruin. Its systems seem to have been offline for quite some time, but surely, especially this close to your ship, somebody could probably bring it back online to get you in there without having to blast your way through. We're looking for like a recess or gap to come through. So does someone want to take a look at the door?
That would be Magnus.
I'll examine it.
Okay. Let's get a fix.
Good. I'm marginally trained.
All right. Okay. You get the door to open, but you also get emergency like valves to open up too, and this connecting port loses pressurization for a good 30 seconds while this is happening. So if you don't have a source of oxygen or something of that nature, it could be quite bad. Now I know you've just recently gotten your implants in. You've got your Atmo filter, Roland. I need to just make sure I know what the Atmo filter does for you.
Um,
Or I might be mispronouncing what it is.
no, that's what it is. But without the suit, it's not really worth it. Worth anything
Yeah.
in this situation.
Yeah, and I don't think you have a suit.
No, I have a pressure tent. We could set that up.
Okay, do you want to quick put the tent together while it loses pressurization?
If we can set it up, I suppose.
I mean, you'll be under duress, but otherwise this might prevent you from partially suffocating yourself or cutting off oxygen to your brain for a period of time.
Oof, we don't want that.
Yeah. Nope. And are you in a similar boat, Mert, where this is problematic for you?
Yep.
Okay. So the two of you scramble to get the tent together. And you can each roll 1d6. So this will be a group effort. And I'm going to add 2 to that roll. The DC is a 7 or higher to get the tent set up.
Of what skill?
This is just desperation. It's no skill at all. You guys just both
Desperation.
roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
Yep. But since you're working together, I'm adding 2 on top of this. All right. You guys are able to get your asses into the tent and just breathe Spaceballs style that beautiful air inside of there while the connecting passageway normalizes and the systems return to normal. And with that, you're granted access to the station. All right. Oops. These character boxes actually get in my way if I have them in front of where I'm drawing here. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Do you have? I don't want to stop you, but do you have the
Right.
avatars pretty big? You mean our names at the bottom?
Yeah, like if I'm dragging and like I bump into a character box, it stops like the dragging motion of like all of our little pictures. It's fine. I can navigate around it now. It was kind of funny that physically interacted with it. Okay. Heading in through the door, you come into a half-lit kind of assembly area of this space station. You see it's mostly clear in here. There is let me just play around a bit some more here. There's an instrument panel where this gold area is, so basically a computer system. And there's a large screen above the computer system indicated by this kind of bar up here. There are 2 doors leading out of here. Both seem to be powered on since you came into this room. And apart from that, in this room, there's 2 storage lockers. Let's use a different color for that. In this corner, you see two storage lockers up tight, and no other things really to speak of in here.
Okay. Mert, check the storage lockers. Magnus,
Okay.
check the terminal there. See if you can't find out what happened here.
Okay.
Okay. Mert, they are contained by physical locks and remain locked.
Okay. Let me. I don't really know if I have anything for that per se that would. I mean, I have a knife that I'd probably try to just, but like these are like really crude locks, or it's more technological.
Um, they so it's not like an exterior padlock over the like opening. It's like just the locker itself has like a input for like a key for someone to put and turn in there. So it's just built right into the locker. So you would have to force open the entire thing itself or smash in if you didn't have the key. Or you could try picking it, of course.
Well, I will look around. I mean, so the room is big. I'll look around to see first if I'll obviously I know there's needs a key, so I'll look around and see if I can find a key. I'll start.
Okay, you can give me a notice.
I am trained in that now. A 5.
Okay.
Oof.
All right. You wander around the room looking for things. Magnus, you were at the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It requires a little bit of a. In order to boot up, you can tell right away just from your training that you're going to need to give it a little external stimuli of a power source. So, is there anything you can kind of just plug into this, or think of a way to give it a little boost?
Are glow bugs one-time use?
Fucking glow
Uh,
bugs.
I have one.
I mean,
Probably gonna have to ask someone for a battery, basically, if that's what we're.
yeah. Do you have any
I don't-
spare batteries?
I don't have one.
I will toss him an A power cell.
Okay.
But about the glow bug, do I still have it or was it consumed?
It fizzled out,
Okay.
and the moment it does, it dies.
Okay. I'll delete it.
Yeah, delete it.
It's been deleted.
Okay. With the A cell in hand, this will take still a little bit of your expertise in order to actually input it properly and not overwork the system. So this is a low DC fix roll, but I do need you to do the roll. Okay, it's no problem for you. You're able to utilize the A cell. It still may be used again, even once you have the computer booted up. So if you want to give it back to Roland, that's up to you. But it was not, its charge was not totally consumed by that.
Okay.
And yeah, the installations directory comes online. So I'm gonna greatly expand the map for you guys now because that's one of the first things you can get access to.
I really like that you picked that blue. Seems like a perfect like space thing.
Yeah, thank you. I thought as much myself.
So the overall sector map is being increased.
No, this is the schematics of the installation.
How do we get to that? Or is
I'm
that
drawing them. I'm drawing
Oh,
it in
okay.
roll 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was looking at the two. Was I looking at the two red things, and the terminal is the yellow thing where that's where
Yes.
Thomas was? Okay.
Precisely. Yep.
And so is this more Thomas is seeing this on the terminal?
Yeah, you guys will all be able to see this on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did Mert check the storage locker in chat?
I was just saying that I was to remind myself in case I forgot what my job was.
It was like in gray, so I thought it was like some kind of official
Yeah,
message.
that we.
But never mind. I think actually just all your messages are, everyone's messages are in gray.
Like the word messages.
Yeah.
We're just about done.
Adam, I'm
Okay.
getting some Shades of Nemesis board game right now.
50 Shades of Nemesis.
50 Shades of Nemesis.
Okay, now I think there's a text option now.
In Roll20, you mean?
Yeah, like for me to like give
Yeah.
labels
If you go
to the rooms.
If you go to the drawing, like little left part, yeah, text is the fourth one. Like there's draw shape, freehand, polygon, line, and then text, and then clear drawings, which I don't think you want to do.
Wait, so which icon is it?
The little brush. It looks like a paintbrush. So one of them looks like. Yeah.
I see a mouse click. Oh, there we go. I got you. We're good. Okay. Oh shit! I gotta change my zoom. I haven't done this much in the
Zoom.
Roll20 in quite a while, but this actually became a really appropriate time to use it. So.
No, it works.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, my text is black. That's yep. That's
That
not good,
doesn't.
yeah.
That won't
Oh
work.
my god, my text is black.
It's black.
This sounds like our pandemic game all the more. Gotta get rid of the blacks.
Whoa.
Taken out of context, not so great a thing to say.
I'm gonna edit that out. I'm gonna send it to everyone.
Oh no. I'll move it over for you, Sean.
Okay.
Go in the middle of the darn room. Why want to do it?
Yeah,
Alright,
they're all kind of shifting around, but you can tidy up for me.
Yep, no worries. It'll be harder in the like little square or little rectangular
Yeah.
storage room thing. Maybe we'll word it into the hallway. Yeah, like that. This is actually a pretty cool looking space little map, actually.
Yeah.
With the space backdrop. Now you know how you can make all your blueprint maps.
Okay, and I gotta make another demarcation quick.
All doorways.
Yeah.
Every time you open a door, an alien can jump out.
As God intended.
Okay. That is you now have a rough blueprint of the installation.
Okay.
I'm going to add one more thing here, real quick. Wherever there's a pressurized door you need to move through, I'm going to give it a little bit more of a color here. So let's.
Whatever happened to the pressurizing in here? Did we get it repressurized or?
Right now you can breathe just fine. Yes. Right. If you see green, that means you're going through a pretty serious door. Otherwise, it's pretty simple to.
So going into research and going back out.
Yep.
I mean, right now, yeah.
What if we go the long way?
Well, no, there's other ones, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Those are the more involved doors there.
Okay.
So yep.
Are there
free
any
access.
surveillance feeds?
Mang, I'm going to ask for you to roll one moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll a d8.
I shall do so.
Thank you. Okay. There were. Yes. Now that the computer has main access, you can access 6 feeds, and 3 of them are still active. The first is of the. Hold on. Dude, I'll type it out so I don't have to repeat myself. Okay, that's one of the feeds you have. You have a feed of the control room, which is where you are right now. So it's somewhat redundant, but you can see yourselves in there, confirming that the footage is actually in real time and not being looped or from hundreds of years ago or something like that. And then you also have a view of what I type next.
Okay, So the station is intact. They didn't have a critical power failure or any sort of explosions. But there's blood, and it's been abandoned.
Yep.
Okay.
This, yeah.
Magnus, can you find any files about what they were working on here?
Yep. You can do that, Magnus. You can do a program, and you can influence the roll by like typing into roll 20 what Magnus would actually be typing in the search directory. So you got your instructions from Roland there, but try and be as be as specific or as vague as you'd like to in the moment. But
And
just
is it
consider
English console?
Yeah.
All right.
Mert types BRB. Yeah. All right.
As he continues to just wander around the room looking for a key.
Must be in here. You're ready to leave like 2 days from now. He's like, no, there's a key in here, and you just leave him. Yeah.
I mean, if he's been looking for like a minute, I'm just gonna take a chainsword.
Okay. All right, that's good. Now let's get your program, Magnus. You're already logged in, so you don't anticipate it should be too difficult. Okay, thank you. And you have Mert step aside as you draw your chainsword and apply the power
To
of
Magnus.
Just RE4 right to the shoulder. Oh man. Okay. I want you to roll like a melee attack against the lockers.
Oh,
This'll
my first one.
Yeah, this is basically to see how effectively you kind of cut through there, and maybe whether or not you damage the contents inside or
Okay.
not.
I think I get a total of +1.
Okay. You've cut through the locker on like the bottom wall.
Okay.
And unfortunately, like once you kind of were able to puncture through, it gave you like kind of an unwieldy, like the lack of resistance suddenly kind of made you do a really wide cut through there, and there you kind of perfectly bisected most of the things inside of the locker, regrettably.
Which were?
Looks like some boxes of rations. There is a few batteries in here. One of them still functional, and looks like there's a little box full of thrones as well on the bottom.
The rations should still be edible.
Yeah, so you've just reduced the number slightly. So you can add a B battery to your inventory.
Okay.
As well as 200 thrones and 4 days of rations, however you want to distribute that.
200 thrones. I guess we'll each take 50, and 50 will go to our liege lord.
All right, cool.
Sounds good. I mean, that's why I didn't try to tear it open, but looks like you did better than I probably would have.
And now I will do the other one.
Okay. You can roll your new attack. That's better. This time, you're a bit more prepared, knowing how it's going to go after you kind of get that nice clear cut through the metal. They're sturdily made, but certainly are of no match for your weapon. And you saw off the door much more cleanly this time. I'm going to get back to you what's in that one. I just need to quick type up Thomas's search results here. Okay, there's your first entry for you. Let me see what you found in the second locker here.
Why does it let me drag numbers out of Roland's rolls? Like the 8 and the 16 can be dragged.
You've inside of this locker, Roland, are medical supplies. You see 2 med kits, a bioscanner, although it looks like the batteries run dry on there, but would probably be pretty quick to get back up again, and then some component parts worth about 50 credits, called spare parts in the book.
I will gesture to Mert.
Yes.
Here you go.
And I missed what that was. I heard
Oh
something,
my god.
Okay, Mert, you've got in there 2 med kits, another bioscanner, and spare parts, which aren't strictly a medical tool, but they're worth about 50 thrones, so not bad.
Okay, I'll put that in. Cool.
Yep. All
Thank
right.
you, Roland.
There's one more log entry from your search of the database here, of the research log.
Seems like some things got out of hand.
Yeah. Some kind of probably creature loose in this
Right.
laboratory.
And I will point out that I mean, I didn't want to just be spending too much time just sitting here typing, but basically from the research journal, this space station does have the capacity to slowly kind of drift through space if need be. And so this current planet, in the FAWS system where it's orbiting now, was not where it was originally stationed. So it actually kind of drifted over here from some other part of space until it fell into the orbit of this planet and obviously was not repurposed.
I have. Oh, sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Is there a date on like
That's
that log?
That's what I was gonna say. A timestamp.
Yeah. Mang, I want you to just give me a nice conceivable date for our Dark Imperium campaign here so that I can kind of put a date in retrospect of that.
Well, it'd be the 42nd millennia.
All right. Why don't I just say it's 42.5 on the head right now?
That sounds fairly reasonable.
Okay. Then this is the date of the log.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. That would be ahead of time. Sorry.
No,
Let
it
me-
wouldn't.
Let me go. Oh, okay. So
It would be
so
written.
it's actually it's the 43rd millennium actually. If it's the 42 right now, or is that
No.
not work? Okay. No. Okay. Then good. Got it.
It would be written like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So that is the date from the research log.
Yeah. And what is the actual date you said technically?
It
Like,
is.
today.
I'm gonna write it. Now I know how to write it. Let me do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know. Oh, okay.
500.
Wow.
So it's been like over 500 years.
Yeah.
500's a little.
Should we go back a bit?
You probably want to dial that back.
Okay. Let's
Like,
say it's
Further back?
The dark,
Yeah,
like
really.
the rift broke out in the year 999 of the 41st millennium.
How about that? Or is that
Okay.
still, you think, a little?
I mean, it's
far
hard
out?
to say how much has changed, but the fact that they didn't close the rift in 200 years is a little rough.
Okay, this is gonna be my final adjustment, and then I'm gonna push back the.
Final offer.
Yep.
And you'll push back that original.
Yeah.
But we're talking, so this log was written hundreds of years before now.
That seems to be the
that's
case.
gonna be the net result. Yeah.
So there's some kind of ancient 600-year-old beast in here.
Possibly.
Okay, so it's not quite as far removed as it was previously, but that is. Yeah.
300.
Few hundred years.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just been here subsisting on.
Well, no, it could be long dead or.
Yeah,
fell
we
into
don't know.
Space. You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, in our experience, does anything live that long? Have we ever
Yes.
encountered anything in our time?
Oh, yeah.
Many things
Like,
live.
first of all, the Necrons that you encountered. I mean, granted, they were like they were in a stasis state, but
Yeah.
they've been sleeping for millions of
Yeah.
years.
But sleeping.
Eldar lived for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Orcs, even space marines and stuff live hundreds of
Yeah.
years.
I don't know. I know, like the Tyranids, they keep consuming biomatter to like evolve into stronger, better like organisms.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if
even
you'd ever be able to tap down an age for Tyranids.
Right, they're not too agreeable to being asked their age or
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah, okay, all right. But you've got this big, beautiful research station here, and look what you found just in those two lockers there. I mean, that's about 1,000 right there, easy money.
I say we head towards the staff quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, pressure won't be a problem at least.
Right.
Guns out.
Guns out.
Guns
We'll
out.
see how I look at Thomas's gun, prototype gun, and go, we'll see what that thing's made of.
Okay.
Indeed.
Maybe we will.
If there's any staff remaining, they're gonna get it.
Just first person you see, just shoot them on sight. Shoot them on sight. Yeah. Okay. You open the door. It's a bit dusty down this hallway, but yeah, you don't feel any sort of rapid pressurization change as you head down into the staff quarters.
I'll leave the atmo filter on.
Yeah, that seems prudent.
Oh, the guy who voiced Peppy in Star Fox 64 died.
I got a text from Kevin about that. That's it's really too bad.
Coronavirus.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh no. I'd say it claims its first victim, but that's not a way.
That's not really true. Yeah.
Today there have been numerous ones.
Multiple, you could say. Yeah.
Well, you heard about the basketball player's mom dying, right?
No.
Carl Anthony Towns' mom died today.
It's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, you go into the staff quarters. Mert, previously you saw like a completely dilapidated dwelling. It seems that the close pressurized environment here is much more favorable to preserving the materials longer. You see there are beds, neatly made. You don't see any disturbances here. There's foot lockers at the front of each bed. In total, there are 12 in here. There's basically just all of the essentials for habitation aboard a station inside of this area. There's a little corner shower, exercise equipment in one corner, basically what would pass as the mess hall is right in the middle here, not too far away from the little divider where all the beds are. So this is the living area, and for the most part, it seems largely intact. Not much different from when it would be when in full swing of the station.
So nothing like seems out of the ordinary, like hurried.
Yeah, and I do need to say there are doors dividing this room here, and
Okay, good.
yeah, but they're just not quite as the same heavy duty as those airlock kind of setups. So.
Okay.
Are there any like foot lockers or?
Oh yeah, there's a dozen.
Yeah, there's 12 of them.
Let's start searching.
Check 'em out.
Okay. These are card ID locked. So.
Oh, I got just the thing.
Okay. Do you want to search the room, Mert?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
I will look for if I find any cards under beds or.
Yeah. I want you to roll a d8.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. You find 4 ID cards. Two of them are neatly folded with like a stack of clothes near the beds, and they bear all of these. Bear the ID of staff aboard the station. I'll supply the names, and then the other 2 you find from more diligent searching, just basically in little nooks in this room, like off to the side of a bed, like if somebody like had it where they were sleeping, it just kind of fell out of their hand. And then you also find one near the exercise equipment, just sitting on like the bench press. So I'll give you some names. There are your ID names.
All right.
Okay. Opening their 4 foot lockers gives you the score of what possessions they had in there. It's a bit scant, but you do gain another laser pistol, las pistol.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and if I look at Mang, who doesn't actually have a gun, do you want a pistol?
What kind of pistol?
It's a las pistol.
Sure, I guess. Probably just shoot myself, but I'll be chain sorting all the other chests though.
All right. Well, I'll do an en masse 1 roll for all of that.
1 roll.
Yep. Okay. You find from your sawing of all that stuff the value equivalent of about 400 credits. It's basically from just, little trinkets, pieces of small tech, trade goods, things of that nature. We won't go into specifics. You'll just turn it into credits right away.
Okay, so 100 for each of us.
Yep.
All right.
Also, you find 1 data slab that had video feed inside one of the lockers. It is, assuming you want to look at watch the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buffering.
Yep. Okay. This is Roy Trajan's data slab.
Oh, Roy.
Yep. He is filming basically a walk around tour for people he knows back wherever he lived before joining the station. So it looks like he intended to show this to them upon return about the station that he worked at. So you see him walking around the different parts of the station. He's interacting with his co-researchers, and there's guard personnel, pretty much all the essentials you need to have on a station. He's making his rounds. It's all fairly trite and typical kind of banter and interplay with his fellow staff members. Towards the end of the video, he's in the research area, and there's a little gathering here around a tank where, yes, indeed, you see the research specimen that they've been observing, taking samples from. It looks kind of like a scorpion, but it has kind of a very it looks like it's showing just a lot of restless movements within the tank, but you can see from the video that there's a lot of really useful kind of data and applications from the tissue samples they've taken and from studying its genetic profile as well. So they nicknamed they've all given the specimen a name, and I'll give you his name.
His.
Yeah, they all call it Krauser. Yep. So, and then there's a second video, the last one on the slab, where he says that Krauser, he's like kind of doing selfie style talking to his data slab, saying that Krauser's grown too large, they can't contain him, and he hopes that all the people waiting back home for him know that sends them his love and that he hopes to see Earth again, some Holy Terra again someday, and offers a prayer, and that's it.
I go, Trajan. Maybe that was his blood we saw.
Well, I think it's probably pretty clear that this thing got out of control. I can't imagine it's still here and not having
Right.
starved to death over hundreds of years.
Right.
So,
Well, so we should check the rest of the place out.
unless it, somehow spawned a bunch of eggs and then they cannibalized one another for hundreds of years, but what are the odds of something like that?
Right. Just it's made it even more perfect, vicious creature over time.
Or if it has bio adaptations that can survive on
But
space
if
dust.
you guys kill it, think of the XP you'd get from that. So I mean that's if it's still here. Right now you're in the safety of the staff quarters, which
It's so peaceful
Well,
here.
we should check out that power room.
Yeah,
That's where you get powerful.
Okay. While there isn't a special lock here, upon attempting to open this door, a little red flashing screen comes up to the on a side panel saying authorized personnel only for access to this room. So you will need to do a system hack or find some way into this room. Now you do have 4 ID cards, so there is a chance that one of those might work, but apart from that, you'll need to find some way into here. What would you guys like to do?
We're talking about a green door.
No, it's not a green door. This is the door to the power room.
Oh,
And none of the IDs work for it, correct?
Yep.
do you just want to chainsaw that
Well,
down?
you haven't
I
tried the
don't think
IDs.
I want to be
I'll
chainsword and
try.
everything.
I'll try each one.
Roll a d20. You don't want to roll a 1 here.
Be that.
And it jettisons the staff quarters into deep space, isolated with the creature on board with you. Yep. Okay. Man, you give it the flavor text too.
Yeah, that's why we had to wait so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it was delayed. I clicked
Yeah.
like 20
Oh,
seconds.
sure.
All right. I'll give you the benefit. They don't open the door, but you get basically an error prompt telling you 2 names that would work to open this door.
Ooh, okay. Toy Yejran and
So if you find either of those IDs, they will open the power room with those cards.
Are there bodies in the staff room? No.
In the staff quarters, there are
There were no bodies.
zero bodies in the staff quarters.
no bodies hit the floor.
Well, we saw some in the surveillance, I guess, so find one and come back
We saw
Yeah,
blood.
We saw blood.
where there's blood.
Not if
There's
it was
bodies.
eaten.
But they wouldn't eat the cards. That's all that mattered.
You don't know that.
Well,
You think
if
you know
they
the mind
did,
of an alien?
I did-
it
Heresy!
would pass through.
Maybe, yeah.
Imagine how
Just
much
keep
alien
pooping it back
poop is
out.
in there for hundreds of years of space
Oh my
poop.
god.
Maybe that's how it survived. It ate on its own refuse.
Well, let's head to the maintenance hallway then. It's a big hallway.
All right.
All right.
Can
And,
we open that door, even, Sean?
Oh yeah. It opens up,
You know,
and
What's real
Oh.
nice of you about you putting like those doors separate is you can literally click on that door. Like we could just delete it.
Should you
Yeah,
be
that's-
deleting doors?
No. The-
The layout of the station keeps changing before my eyes.
It's
What door to
anomalous.
the power room?
Yeah. Yeah. You just delete it.
Okay,
And then we're in.
you open the door. As it opens, a nearly entirely decomposed body falls forward onto you guys. So it was like leaning against the door for all this time. So yeah, somebody just didn't let them in
Dodge.
time.
Dodge.
Yeah, and the husk just crashes onto the ground, further kind of shattering the brittle bone structure that was left. You can immediately
wearing?
see. So I'll do little red X's for corpses here. Oh, that's not an X. Well, little cubes
That's-
for corpses. So
Little cubes.
yeah. So there's one.
Does it have a card?
Have a lanyard.
Yep, lanyard.
This one does have an ID. It, like, kind of basically barely, you like see it was kind of like in this rotting meshed pocket that had like kind of bonded together with like the very like mummified flesh that was left on there. So you got, it's kind of gross digging it out of there, but you do get an ID. This person is
Oh, poor
Yep,
Julius.
yep,
Well, you
so
can't
you
help
found
us,
Julius. Yep.
Well,
With the
clearly
maintenance
his
hallway door,
tunnels went badly.
yeah, with this door open, I want everyone to roll notice.
Ah!
Yep.
I have a +1.
Nice.
Me too.
Okay. Wow, look at that. Very consistent. There's
what
there's
stat
two
do you
more
think
bodies
noticed?
here.
Wisdom.
What?
Wisdom.
Okay. You guys see two more bodies right there. And there's no denying it, because you're all pretty quick on the uptake here, that as you glance over and see further down the hallway at those two bodies, what looks like maybe about 24 little spiders or so kind of rush away from their bodies to your right, so further down the maintenance hallway out of view.
And how big are these spiders?
About the size of maybe a quarter or a bottle cap.
Okay.
So big enough. But
Yeah, so these could have been like, for all you know, like these parasites that can like float through the vacuum of space and then find, food occasionally, or could be related to something in the station. But that's what you saw when you saw those bodies further down the hall. But they were clearly alarmed by your presence.
I look at the other two briefly and say, in some of the battles I saw, I know insects don't like fire. Do we have any way to create fire if need be?
I will carry a thermal flare in my left hand, unlit.
Okay. So you're ready to blaze it up if
Yeah,
need be.
if need be.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So is it your intention to then round the corner down the maintenance hallway?
Yeah, I'd
With
say I
Mert leading the way.
I do kind of like a Sean. You'll see a ping. Like I go to this corner and kind of peer around with my gun sighted down.
Perfect. And that's where I'm going to leave the session off for tonight, because I have a few things I want to get a little bit better prepared before we jump in, and I feel like we could be approaching a point now where I don't want to suspend the action midway as we get to our closing time.
There's gonna be action.
There could be.
Oh!
We turn
all right.
around, bro.
Yep. Good stopping point before we get too deep. So.
Again,
All right.
I mean, you can keep this here, obviously, but I took a picture, and it's also in the handout area, so this will be forever
Okay.
saved.
Yeah. Good. And I'm
Of
gonna
your
put.
initial one. Of your
Yeah.
initial one.
I'm gonna put a one more little representation here because Mert, we can delete these shapes. Okay. This is where the party is at the start
Okay.
when we come back. This nice orange box here. So.
Cool.
Beautiful. Okay.
Ziggy, have you started to read the Horus Heresy novels?
Would you recommend that I do?
Well, I mean, if you like 40K.
Yeah, it's 40K. It's like, it's so vast, and it's like I'm trying to think of like what the best starting point is for like digesting like the fiction about it, apart from just like watching your videos and like the wikis and overviews and stuff. So if you
Yeah.
think that's a good,
I mean, that's what
Good
was
place
recommended to me.
yeah,
That's where I started with novels.
okay,
I just
No,
mentioned it because the first book has a big section where they fight against like these giant, like mega arachnids.
are they Tyranids like technically, or are they just big spiders?
No, it's just a planet full of giant spiders.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So they call the planet Murder.
Nice functional name for the
Oh,
planet.
yeah.
Very good. Well, cool.
All right, there we go.
Yep. So I'm gonna do we're not gonna award any more XP right now. You guys got like your planetary XP earlier in the session. So you guys will get your orbital station XP when you leave this place, but so no XP further right now, but I looks like it'll probably be like mid-session or depending how long it takes for your next payout. So.
If
All right.
we survive.
Correct. Any number of things can happen on a derelict space station, but it's fun. So, yeah.
Cool.
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 All right.
Alrighty.
Well then, guys, have a good night.
Yeah, Mert, I'd be down for some pandemic tomorrow, if you're able.
I should be. Adam, how's your day look?
Fine.
You guys want to shoot for like around 2?
Sure.
That works for me.
Okay, we got our tentative time.
I mean, if for some reason you want to do a little earlier, it works, because 3 is like but it usually, we take, 45 minutes, so
Yeah.
that should be perfect.
Okay.
All right, guys, well then we'll tentatively plan on that tomorrow.
Yep. And then same time next week, same channel.
Same time.
Yep.
Good night.
Give Nate Dogg my regards, Thomas.
Yep, he's been patiently sitting next to me here.
He's a good boy.
He's probably overjoyed. Like, instead of you leaving, you're here. You're
Well,
right there. He can keep his
yeah.
eye on you.
Yep. I found out that he naps a lot,
What else is he gonna do?
which is fine, but I feel guilt. Like, should I be like entertaining him more? I don't know.
No.
Well, the way I see it, like whenever a pet like voluntarily goes into like low energy mode, like that's a good thing. You don't want to mess with that.
Right.
But then like when they do seem to like want to play and have energy, then you should try and do right by them then and like really go all out and try and tire them out a bit. So I think you can just let sleeping dogs lie in those cases.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
To obey the old proverb. So
Yeah.